Hey, good, Nate. Good to see you, man. Thanks for
You too, man.
jumping
We
on
got
this webinar.
Elizabeth here early. We got Nellies and Shelly. Thank you guys. Say hello. Let me know if you can hear both of us okay and see us okay. Really excited to be here today. We're not going to kick off the content for another 8 minutes. We'll let everybody join. Got tons of people. Record-setting registration, man. It's such an honor to be here. How are you hanging in there?
Yeah, we are doing good. Most of us are bunkered down in their homes here at Show It, and so just excited to reach out to the community to touch base with Show It Tears and Sticky People. Is that what we're calling people from Sticky albums?
let's let's do it. Everybody
Yeah,
calls me Sticky Nate, so let's call them Sticky People. I love
yeah,
it.
that's awesome.
It's so cool. I love it. Yeah, it's just really wild times, and I found that uh, just it's isolating, right? I've been doing online trainings for my whole career, and this is my favorite thing to do. Yes, conferences are amazing, and I cannot wait to get to United very soon. Hopefully, it happens the next time. But there's this a really good opportunity we have to be productive right now, and thank you everybody for those messages you sent in the survey beforehand yesterday. It's amazing stories, optimism. Everybody's so grateful for how the industry is coming together to support each other. No competition, just community. There's so many things like that I keep seeing. Really, really cool.
Yeah, and I think it's such a great time to do what everybody is doing here and up their game in their business and figure out a way forward because
Yeah.
things are certainly uncertain, but really there's no better opportunity to strengthen what has been weak in your business and learn some new stuff. Maybe try some new angles, get a little bit of a different perspective with
Right.
how you're reaching your customers and how you're selling your products and all those types of things. So really appreciate you doing this, Nate.
For sure. Yeah, I think it's exciting. That so many people are willing to learn. Um, I'll say this when we kick off too. I just feel like I've been fortunate. I ran a portrait studio myself for a couple years on the side before launching Sticky 8 years ago, and I've been working full time, growing a team, building awesome tools. And while right now a lot of photographers get to just sit down and take a break and have some time, this is where I really feel it's like my duty to step up, to put. I spent many hours on this presentation, pulling some of the best content, the best tactics that I think are the most important, so that you guys can make the best use of this time you have. I know that it's not infinite, right? It kind of reminds me like when you get a snow day or you get like a last minute, like the wife's gonna take the kids to the store. You're like, oh, I got 3 hours. I'm gonna like clean the house and clean the garage and do all this stuff. And like you get down the stairs and like there's a light bulb that's out, and then you find all and then nothing gets done, right? So yes, we have time, but it's important that we're like diligent with it and have realistic expectations about what we can get done, knowing that during this uncertainty, it's really helpful to have a distraction to go to work also, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's all about that perspective. You know how you're looking at it. Like you can either look at this as the end of something, like this is throwing everything off, or you can look at it as a new opportunity to really do things that you haven't had a chance to do up until this point. Like you're saying that extra 3 hours, and so. I know that we at Show It have really tried to lean into the community, and I think that's another great opportunity that you might not be able to meet physically with the community that you normally will, but hopefully everybody's discovering a new community online and are making connections with people that they've never had a chance to connect with before because they've been so busy in their day to day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is great. We've got record-setting people here already. John, hello. Guys, if you haven't yet, say hello. Alicia says hello. Photo Studio from Holland. Oh my gosh, it's so great. Nelly, hello. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, we're going to start the content. I've got more that I've ever tried to teach in 1 hour. ready to go right here in the next couple minutes. Yeah, this is really cool. Guys, keep sharing some of the highlights in the comments too. So what are some of the bright spots that you're noticing in your community, in the photography community? I know that this is, I like the sentence, the phrase like, what you focus on grows. Like whatever we give our attention, it kind of gets bigger for us. And I'm going to talk a lot about gratitude today too, and how that is a strategy that I've used to kind of keep a level head.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like I'm going to keep Michelle. Oh my gosh, I can't even keep up. You guys are awesome. Holy cow. Aloha. Somebody's in Hawaii. Sharon from the UK. Let's see. Field Denny. Thank you for being here.
Field
from Arizona.
Yeah.
I love it. So cool. Awesome. All right. I think I'm ready. And I think everybody here is ready to jump in. If you guys are watching the replay, there's this will stay bookmarked, so you can bookmark this URL and watch it too. I'm gonna keep it public and I keep it live ongoing. But let's jump in. If you want to quick give us an introduction, and then I'll jump into my slides.
Yeah, happy to. And just want to reiterate, Nate, in saying thank you all for being here. So honored and privileged that you would join us. We at Show It love our community. We are a tech company, but we are also a community company, and we've built this around relationships. And so happy that you're here. Happy that you're going to get a chance to really learn some things about how to move forward in a really uncertain time. And so Nate is going to talk a lot about some steps that you can take to solidify what you're doing and really bolster yourself during a season of uncertainty. But Nate Grahek, I'm going to get it right. Grahek, yes. He is with the Sticky Marketing Tools. He was a photographer for a long time, was very successful in what he was doing. Then he started Sticky Albums and did that about 8 years ago. And then more recently has started Sticky Emails. And so that's what he's going to be talking to us about today, along with a lot of other great information. But Nate, thank you so much for doing this webinar and being here today. Can't wait to learn from all of your experience and what you have to offer.
Oh, so good. Thank you so much, Chris. You broke up just for a second, but we're back nice and strong. It's an honor to be here, guys. I sat down for coffee 2 years ago when Todd was coming through town on his like marathon trek. He ran a marathon in northern Minnesota. And he's like, hey, can I drive through? He's like, find me a coffee shop that has room for the huge Winnebago thing that him and his family were in. And it just really, I've always looked up to the Show It community with such respect. What you guys have created is so special. And so it's an honor to be here to help give back and to help all get stronger together. With that, I want to go over here. Guys, keep these amazing comments coming. It's so good to see you guys. Jola, here I'm going to come back here so you can see it. Oops. Jola says, I'm focusing on guiding my clients towards recording video, marketing content, helping them with proper lighting and wardrobe recommendations. Video is, after all, the marketing of the future. So well said. We're going to talk about some cool video tools I love to help you do just that. Okay, so keep those questions coming. And we're going to be here. Let's see, Chris will be in the chat. I'll be bringing you guys onto the screen. If there's something that I'm saying that's resonating, or if I'm going too fast, slow me down. Ask questions. Let's dig in. So this is how to stay productive during a downturn. So it's an honor to be here, guys. When we're all sitting at home in front of our computers, isolating as much as we can, now's the time, right? My sincerest wish is that we can use this time to be productive in our business, right? So first thing I wanted to show is this tip. Is everybody still joining? You guys all saw how I used video just to get some quick video responses and to communicate with you guys a little bit. It's so simple and it's so powerful where I think you guys could use this to ask for testimonials. So you can ask the question with your own face, with your own camera on your phone or webcam. Say, hey guys, here's what we're looking for my website. During this downtime, we're just looking to polish things up. It would really mean a lot if we could get a video testimonial of your experience working with us. We just absolutely loved it. It would mean the world, right? So you can do that along with additional priming of a lot of people asking for video testimonials is like scary. Like, oh gosh, what are they going to say? Do they ever want to do it? And the big hurdle is they don't know where to start, right? They're like, a lot of times when you ask for text ones, people aren't good writers and they don't like writing. So you can prime them a little bit in the video saying, hey, here's what we're looking for. We know that when people are shopping for a photographer, they get a little hesitant on what to look for or how to choose one that's right for them. So if you could just share that experience of shopping, like what was it like trying to find a photographer? So you rewind the clock a little bit for them, and then you get these amazing testimonials as a result. I'm going to show more about this formula I use at the end if we've got time. But I want to dig in to the meat and potatoes today because we've got a lot of people here. Keep those comments coming. I love it. Okay, so now's the time. So here's the agenda. We're going to talk about a couple things for maintaining a productive mindset, because everything starts there. All of our actions come from that, right? We're going to talk a little bit about making income, some ideas I've seen come up in the community that are pretty cool. But we're going to spend the bulk of our time building for the future. So stick around until the end. Bookmark this page. I've got a mock-up template I want to give away. Another fun, quick project while you guys are polishing your websites. It's so important to have examples, if you sell products, to have examples of those products on people's walls or in really cool mocked up walls. If you sell albums, to show mock-ups of that, right? When you show that on your website and your marketing collateral, people are going to be attracted to that. Go, oh, cool. I didn't even think. I just wanted the digitals, but now that I see that, it would be nice to have a cool wall collage over the couch where we've got that small whatever, right? So it's just these subconscious ways. If you want to sell more products, you can get this free template to build those mock-ups. All right. Okay, so we're going to start with mindset, but here's the results of this survey you guys did. Everybody, I'm really excited to see the focus on the future. And I'm going to explain why I think that your time is best spent building for the future. If you do need to get creative, to think of some ways to make some money, I'm going to give a couple ideas there, but I want you to start in the same place regardless. In this time, I think it's important to start with generosity, okay? And I'll explain what I mean why. So number one, be safe. Listen to authorities in your area. Things are changing constantly all over the world. So follow what is recommended. If you can still do shoots or not, be safe and let's get this thing over with so we can come back out full strong. And be gentle with yourself and with others. And what I mean by that is this is so super unprecedented, right? There is no precedent for what is happening. There's no guidebook for how we should be behaving and what we should be doing. And it's easy, even though we have our own, oh geez, my camera's getting too hot. Okay, great. I'm still there. I'm going to switch over to, you guys can still hear me though. How do I go back to this? There we go. You can still see me here. Oh, that's going to be goofy. I'm going to turn my camera up. I did too many webinars today. My darn Sony got too hot. We'll let it cool off for a minute. And we can go there. You can see me. I'm going to get my slides back. Oh dear. It's so great. Yay for tech. Got to swap them like that. Oh, I know. I got to close this. There we go. So while you guys can still see me, I'm going to let both cameras cool off. Okay. Streams. Okay, we're good. All right. Sony problems. Thanks, Ryan. Now I know better to turn off my camera in between webinars. Okay, time box. I want to go back to being gentle as another example. Things happen. We kind of bounce up against the edges. If you look on social media, there's this great tweet I saw. It said, simultaneously, I feel like I'm underreacting and totally overreacting at the exact same time, right? And I think that really rings true for me and in this time. And so it's important that we are gentle with ourselves. The phrase I love just as a business owner, it's easy to get down on ourselves. Many of us are parents. You would never yell at a baby learning to walk that stumbles, right? You wouldn't yell like, oh, get up, you darn. You wouldn't do that. But we do it to ourselves all the time. In a lot of ways, we're kind of crawling here, and we've got to be gentle with ourselves. All right. Time boxing is just limiting the amount of social media. None of us are immune from this. If we do too much of it, it will bring us down. And we've got to focus on the positives. So we can use this time to do important things with our family, with our pets. Our pets right now are loving it, and to be productive in our business. For me, frankly, focusing on business is a good distraction. And it's a very productive distraction when there's things that you just can't control. So I love this prayer. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that sometimes this is feeling like it's a little smaller right now, and that's where a lot of the fear comes from. But it's important that we take this time to focus on what is we actually can do. So my next point is on being generous, and it's so important. Jen Rosenbaum posted recently. She said, "How will future you look back at this time? Will you remember it as a time of connection, creativity, and time well spent, or a time or worry of worry, sadness, and isolation? The choice is yours." And I want to expound on this a little bit and say that in defining moments like this of our history, what we remember most, and number one, it's just super memorable, right? It kind of gets emboldened into our minds because so much is changing so quickly. But we remember how others show up. And when I ask you, I would challenge you is, how do you want to be remembered? It's how the businesses, how the communities, how their friends, the people around us right now, that's going to be remembered. And what I love about generosity is it erases fear. If we look at the opposite, what happened with all the toilet paper, the ridiculousness there, that was a lot of scarcity thinking. And if we can focus on giving to others, giving to our community, it starts to erase some of that fear. And if you do need to sell eventually, I highly recommend starting with generosity first. So number one, if you do need to do some selling right now, lots of communication, give first. Create a custom mobile app for each one of your past clients who you haven't made one for yet. Surprise them. And if you imagine doing a cool like a video message or a note or print a card, something special like that, think about when you do eventually want to follow up to upsell them to an album or a wall art gallery or something like that. They'll be so much more responsive to that offer if you first laid the foundation with a gift. So you can start thinking about doing album design if you haven't done that before. Using a mock-up to mock up what a client's images could look like in a gallery or a collage on their wall. So these are just some quick ideas. So generosity is the opposite of fear, and it starts to really dislodge that. So I highly recommend it. Awesome. Ryan, thank you so much for chiming in. I appreciate you guys being here. I think I'm going to try to turn my camera on in a minute, but I'm going to let it cool off some more. This is all good. Once we get into the good content. All right. Some other ideas that I saw were pretty inspirational. Start with a gift. I've seen some people posting to their local small business owners that rely on retail or face-to-face that have jewelry or boutique goods. Say, hey, like put them in a box. I'll come drop them off, like leave them on my porch and I'll let them disinfect, but I'll do some product photography for you for free. And I'll email them over for your website. What a great way to build a lasting relationship that somebody will never forget. and it could very well lead to paying opportunity as well. Any kind of graphic design. I promise you, most photographers are better graphic designers than most small businesses. They need help with signage right now. You've got experience with that. They need help with a website or social media. These are all things that you are well qualified for beyond what the average small business can do. So as we jump into this, guys, as a reminder, bookmark this page if you could do me a favor and subscribe. I'm going to be doing more training, free training like this in the coming weeks. But if you are joining us late or you might have to go early, you can save this page and come back and rewatch. Okay, now let's jump into the good stuff. Building for the future. All right, so here's what I want to walk through really quickly. You guys had a lot of good comments on the frustrations you've had before with email marketing. I want to really make the case of why it's still worth the effort, but to an extent. I want to really give you guys some clarity on the 80-20 rule and how you can use this. If you love the 80-20 rule in all parts of your business, give me a yes in the comments. And I'm going to show you how that applies perfectly to email marketing strategy. Then one of my favorite funnels. Do you guys know what a sales or a marketing funnel is? I'm going to show you a pricing inquiry funnel and what that looks like, and the case study of how powerful it can be in helping you increase your sales and your bookings. And then we'll wrap up with time. I'm squeezing a lot in here. We're going to talk a little bit more about those cool video tools that I love, but we'll focus on those first ones. All right. So as a quick clarity, guys, and a promise, I believe that with any marketing strategy, there's a couple pieces, the strategy and the software you use. Yes, I'm a founder of Sticky, but I want you to be able to implement the strategies we talk about with any software. Okay? All right, that's what I want to make this worthwhile for everybody, no matter what. So let's zoom out. This is one of the big ahas that I had when I was first getting started in my photography business. And I'm wondering if it ever felt like your website stopped working. Well, for me, I finally realized that this aha years in, oh my gosh, my website never worked. And I'm betting that in the way I mean worked, that some of your websites maybe not be working right now either. And I want to zoom out and have you think about the job of your website a little differently. So what I mean is, when I first got started, where did I get all my clients from, right? Where everybody does, friends and family. They're the ones that convinced me to start, that I could do this, that I could start my own business and that I was good enough. And so that's where I got my initial clients. And so I was booking a few clients here and there despite my terrible website. People were just, they refer me. My website was not a reflection of my brand and my personality. And so I was still booking them because it was people that I knew and they knew and liked and trusted me already. But when we zoom out, the real challenge of marketing is turning strangers into booked clients, right? That's the really powerful thing. This is the true test of marketing. And this is the true test of your website and all of your online, all of the things you're doing online, really. Marketing is defined this way, which I don't care. What I like to think about it differently is it turns strangers into booked clients. That's hard to do, right? That's a lot harder to turn versus somebody that already knows you. And so what we need in order to do that is time. Good marketing gives time for them to get to know, like, and trust you, right? That's the important part. And that's what email marketing does so well. This is why, give me a thumbs up if you guys have read Donald Miller's Story Brand. I think it's made its way through the photography industry pretty well over the last couple of years. Really, really helpful tool. If you haven't read it, use that at this time now to read this awesome book. He says email marketing is the way marketing is done today. People, tons of leaders in our industry. Email is the glue that holds all of it together. With more inquiries in 3 months than the previous 3 years. Email sequences are where I get all of my bookings. Email automations give us more bookings and more freedom. Okay, really? So if you're hesitant, like so many photographers are, when some of those rave reviews, you're not alone. I want to share a quick story. So a lot of people are like, come on, Nate, are you sure? Isn't email dead? Like everybody's got, like their inboxes are full, right? where Sid has a really cool perspective on this.
And honestly, I'd never used email marketing before. I had people tell me that I needed to try it, that it was kind of the new thing and everybody loved it. But honestly, I had so many emails in my own email box. I just thought, is this really going to be effective? Like, who needs one more email in their email box to go through? So I wasn't really sure what to think about it, but.
So I thought, who needs one more email, right? That's the come from that I see a lot of frustration with, and I get it. But then why are there so many experts? That's what I want to help clarify for you guys today, is why are there so many experts in and out of our industry that say if you aren't collecting email on your website, you're missing out. Here's what Michaela and Dave have to say.
There are so many benefits to using email in your business. In fact, our business wouldn't even exist without email.
It's given us more flexibility in our business and allowed us to connect with our prospective clients on a deeper level. Now we have even more bookings and more freedom.
Our business wouldn't even exist without email marketing, and it gives them more bookings and more freedom at the same time. How awesome is that?
So it really kind of changed my market.
I'm going to back up here. Sid also then follows up after implementing it. She implemented a simple email sequence strategy in her business. And within a few months, this is what she had to say.
So it really kind of changed my marketing. It gave me a simple, concise way to get information to the people who were looking to book me. I found that a lot of people just needed a reason. They were talking to a lot of different photographers, and I was the one who was following up with them. I was the one that was giving them information that was helpful to them, without, really sort of needing a lot from them. It was just a short, easy, concise little email for them to read in their email box every day for 5 days. And they knew that it wasn't going to be spammy. It wasn't going to be, salesy. It was just some quick tips to help them, as they planned their wedding. And they just really enjoyed it. And I got a lot of really good feedback about it. It really has, I think, booked me some clients that I would not have had otherwise, because most photographers they reach out, they, maybe give pricing, and then they're not great about following up.
So it helped booked her clients that she otherwise would not have, just by giving that value. So I want to break down how the difference between these two strategies and why some people are having such good success with email and others aren't. I love the conversations going on about what tools you use. I've got lots to share in a minute about some different ways to approach which tool might fit your business best, and depending on where you're at. Looks like my camera is working again. I'm going to try to bring that back up. Of course, it's out of focus. There we go. And let's see if I can go back the way. Nope, swap that. Oh, come on. There we go. Yes. Whew, got it. Okay. So putting a contact form on your website, that's not the answer. Okay. The reason why is a lot of times the contact form, it's got too much information too soon. You're asking for what's their budget, what's their date, all these fun questions that are good to know, but you can ask those questions later with those same survey tools. The reality is most of the people on your website, they're not ready to book, right? And they're only people that will fill out your contact form. They already know, like, and trust you. They know they want to hire you, but that's only about 1% of your visitors if you're lucky. What about the other 99% of your traffic? Why are they there? They're not ready to book yet. They want to learn more, and they want to be guided down this journey with you. So that's what email lets you do. Wrapping up with why email, you own it, right? You own the versus social media. You put all this energy and effort into growing your audience on social, and then you've got to pay to use it. You can automate it. You can set it and forget it. And most of the visitors on your website are not ready to book yet. And so this lets you build a relationship with them. It's helpful to think of your website as the beginning of a conversation, not the end of a conversation. I'll say more about that. it's so easy to think that we put all this energy into getting traffic, or SEO or social or partnerships, whatever it is. You get traffic finally, and they're there, and it's very easy to be like, "Hey, thanks for coming. Book a session." That's too much too soon, right? They don't know that they want to work with you yet. And then also, I'm going to talk about the difference between a newsletter. Like, they don't want your newsletter either. If you really want a good, strong call to action, you can do like schedule a chat or schedule a consult link. That's a good alternative for the people that are ready. You want to make it clear for them to take action really quickly once they know they're ready to work with you. Okay, so that is email. Everybody give me a thumbs up if they understand that the value, the potential of email. Now let me show you the possibility of why people are really rocking it and some are still struggling when we use the 80-20 rule. Okay, so I really want you guys to have clarity in why so many people are raving about it, but then a lot of people are still struggling with it. So let's end the confusion. The way we end the confusion is by focusing on the 20% that matter. See, depending on your business, depending on how hard you want to work behind the computer, you don't need to become an expert on conversion rates and automations and lead magnets and workflows and like all of this stuff gets super, super busy, right? And it's not giving you that much value, especially if you can't get it live. So what I want you to focus on is the 20% that's going to give you the 80% of the results. Sound good? This is what Donald Miller means when if you aren't collecting email addresses on your website, you're missing out. Why so many people, all of the experts that I interview each week rave, and they're not talking about newsletter marketing. They're talking about this new school, this sequence automation marketing. So that's what we're going to talk about, the difference between the two. So, all right, old school, what is that? That is a manual newsletter that you need to write yourself each week, each month. Hard to write. Writing's the hardest part, right? Nobody wants your newsletter. It's like, hey, do you want to go for a movie? You're like, what's it about? Let's come to a movie. Like, it's too vague. You need to be very specific about what you're giving to people first in order for them to want to give you their email address. And then it's just hard to write. As you're having to write new content all the time, you forget, you get busy, you don't do it when you're busy, when you should be making sure that new leads get the best stuff. They're getting some of your worst emails. New school, it's totally automated and it's a pre-written sequence of emails. So that means that the form that collects and offers the sequence, that's going to convert better. So something like, hey, do you want our 10 location ideas for your next session? Do you want our free 7-tip sequence or 7-tip email course on how to choose a wedding photographer that's right for you, or how to have a stress-free wedding? It goes on, right? That converts traffic so much better than anything else does because it tells them very clear expectations. It's only 7 to 10 of your very best emails that are automatically scheduled so that all brand new subscribers, when they're most valuable to you, they get all of your best stuff and you make this awesome first impression. And then of course you set it and forget it. What's great is when you do get back to being busy, you can never log in and update this and know that it's going to keep running and providing value for your business. Okay. Is this making sense? Is this helping? You guys understand the difference between old school and new school? And is it helpful that I took the time to explain that difference? So now let's see what it looks like when you're done. A popular way to launch it is to have a slide out form that comes out as people are sliding down your website, checking out your work. 7 things every boudoir photographer wants you to know. Send me the tips. That converts super well. And now you've got a sequence live. You can also add an exit intent form. This is when somebody goes to leave your website, you get a pop-up like this. This is, hey, before you go, enter your email below so we can send you our free email tips. Super powerful. You can start to see how so many more people on your website, is it's going to be everybody? No, but it's going to take what used to be 1% or less, and you can realistically see 5 to 10% of your traffic opting into your list. But because it doesn't take you any time, it's automated, it's super, super valuable. So there's a couple different places you can get exit intent forms. They specialize in just the forms, and you can connect them to a variety of different tools. Automated email sequences is the next part, and this is where you start. Here's some other ideas. So 7 tips for getting engagement photos that you will cherish just as much as your wedding photos. 7 tricks for taking better pictures with your smartphone. Notice how when you have a really good specific sequence that speaks to your target market's concerns, the things they care about, the things they're worried about, and then you pre-schedule them to go out for about 2 weeks, space them out, and then you get the opportunity to ask for their business. All right. Okay. So my promise is that these can work with a variety of the tools you guys are talking about, a variety of tools out there. If it's all right, I want to share with you why we decided to build sticky email a couple years ago when there's literally dozens of email marketing tools out there. For those of you that, I think the short version, I'll say that in a minute. So let me just show you sticky email, right? So the problems, I didn't want to just launch to be another one, right? I wanted to solve the key problems that people were emailing us and struggling with when they were using other platforms. So what do I write? How do I set up my forms? How do I collect the emails on my website? And then how do I schedule it and program it and set it all up? So that's what my team and I set out to build and kind of break down those 3 big challenges. With sticky email, it's totally simplified on the 20% that matters most to get you more than 80% of the value. So here's a really quick tour. You choose your pre-written email sequence. So I saw some of the questions in here. We've got weddings, families, newborns, boudoir, engagements, seniors, headshots, and others. So you pick whichever niche you're in. And then here's one in infants by Anna Brandt, 8 practical tips that I love to share with new parents. It's so much easier to start with a template, right? To start with a guide, because a lot of these sequences are good enough to make live today. And then over the next couple days, next couple weeks, you can come in and add your own words. You can write one from scratch also if you want, but I highly recommend starting from a template. And then as you prove that this works, that it's helpful, that is where it's the most powerful. Jacqueline, I know there's other creatives on as well. It is targeted specifically. Our pre-written sequences are built for photographers, but you can write your own. And it's very simple to do that too. I'll give you an option here in a minute to check it out. So the next step after you choose your sequence is to add your signature, your headshot, and your link to your pricing guide or something like that in the signature. And then we add that to the bottom of every email for you. Then you can come in here and you can reorder if you'd want. You can customize the headlines. You can personalize it. You can add your own copy. You can add an image if you want. All of that is your own option. But a lot of the secret here is a lot of these templates are ready to go out of the box, saving you tons of time. You get it live. I think one of the things I see a lot of photographers get stuck on is they bite off a big project that's going to take them weeks to finish, and then they don't get it done. Where if you can get it live first in a couple days and then come back and you can still invest that same amount of energy, then you can still make it all personal with all of your own words if you want to. Once that's done, we include the slide out form and the exit intent form. We've got an iPad offline kiosk form that you can capture leads from social, from all the places on your website. You just copy and paste this snippet right on to your show it site or to any of the big website builders. Having a good image here is really good. And we've got a lot of this copy already kind of pre-written for you also. Fine, like I said, copy and paste the code and we show you right where to put it in your show it site, etc. Okay, and then it's live. And now you've got these awesome forms live on your site. So good. All right, so now any questions on, I think that the 80-20 rule here, guys, who we built sticky email for is the photographer or the creative who doesn't want to become an email marketing expert, who wants to set this main sequence up and maybe the next funnel I show you and not have to log in to their email platform every week. That's who we built it for, so that you can focus on the other things that bring you joy, the other things that you're good at. Some of the other systems are super robust and you can do all kinds of nerdy things that I love to do, but I don't think that the ROI is there for most photographers. And that's what we wanted to build it for. All right. So it's normally $25 a month for your first sequence and 500 subs. Or I typically on webinars like this, I do a special deal. But because of the current times, I don't think that that you want to be smart to invest a lot of your capital right now with uncertainty. So we have decided to do a 3-month free trial for all new customers. So that's going to let you dive in right away, see if this is right for you, get it live on your website, let it start working for your business as the recovery starts to happen before you have to worry about investing. So to get that, just go to stickyemail.com. And there's a banner across the site right now. I'll show this link again at the end. But you just go, I'll post a link too as a comment. You just click this link here, create your free account. And that's going to give you 3 free months. So everybody's saying, thank you, Guyan, amazing. Aisha, wow, thank you, great. Thank you guys. It's an honor to be here. I'm glad that this content is resonating. Oops, that was a question. If it's in a big, yes, you can use it on any site, Jennifer. All of the modern website builders like show it, that let you embed. I think that what we're learning is some of the older platforms, like I think maybe Zenfolio and a couple others that were built to do other things first. It didn't used to be so important to turn traffic into leads, but that's what's really important. I think that's one of the most important jobs of your website is to turn traffic into leads. And so you need a modern website tool that will allow you to embed a form like this. Oh gosh, the excitement in the chat is pretty awesome. I'm really glad this is resonating, guys. Please use it. So I'll share this. The only hesitancy I had to making it free is that sometimes we don't use free. We don't place value on free. And this is going to cost my team and support is going to be there to help you guys, which has real fixed costs to my business. And so I really I implore you to use this tool. I won't be able to do the free trial forever. This will be a limited offer. So please take advantage and get it live in your site. Give us feedback. Let us know how it works. And long before you have to worry about investing in this tool. All right. Keep the questions on email coming. I want to kind of excite you guys. For some of you on the call who are more advanced, who might already have something going, I want to inspire you with your next best project. So to clarify, I really think it's important that you do that first automation, that first sequence. That's the number one priority. I'll reiterate the order when we're done before doing this part, but I want to give value for everybody on the call. Okay. So this is the pricing inquiry funnel. All right. So real quickly, Heather says it's $25 a month after the 3 months, or typically $249 a year. But in 3 months, I am sure I'll communicate with you guys a lot before your renewal comes up, so that you know it's coming, and there'll definitely be a discount. It's not going to be our normal 25 or our normal $249. Okay. I want you guys feeling comfortable betting on this horse that we're going to be here to support you guys in tricky times. All right. So let's jump into my new favorite. I don't know if you guys know what a sales funnel is. Donald Miller's talking about it in his new book that just came out. Really good stuff. I'm having fun diving into this. If you haven't read it, it just came out. There's really good stuff. He reiterates the importance of a funnel. I'm curious. I'm going to give you guys an analogy. How I think it's fun to understand a funnel is he says that when you're trying to convince in sales and marketing somebody to come buy your product or service, you're like waving way over here, like, "Hey guys, this river looks scary, but trust me, there's like stepping stones under there that you can cross. Just trust me. People aren't going to do it." Our job in our sales and marketing is to show the clear path, the clear, tiny, safe steps they can take to get there. What a lot of us have in place already is, I bet a lot of you, once you get somebody on a phone call, you're pretty good. Once you get somebody in person, I'll bet you're pretty good at turning them into a customer. But those are steps like way back here. The hardest step is the first step, where they're like, I don't know if I want to fill out the contact form yet. So we want to make that first step as easy to make as possible. And I'm going to talk more about that too. But here is a quick case study. I want to start at the end of the result that Melissa got based on how she now responds to pricing inquiries.
Well, before reworking the pricing guide with Shannon, it was my high school senior average was $299. Now that it's gone live, my average is $1,000. They don't even look at my lowest package anymore. They don't even want anything to do with it. So it's just awesome.
So now that she's using this new sales or pricing funnel, her average went from $299 to over $1,000. So if you want to double the conversion of traffic to leads, like a lot of you right now, if you just have a contact form, you're lucky to have 1%. We want this to go up significantly in a 5 to 10 to 15% of traffic. There's something special you can do. And at the same time, it's going to increase your sales average. Say yes if you want this in your business. So here's the simple magic we've learned looking at all of the data behind the scenes. Again, first strategy is launch with tips. 7 to 10 tips spread out over 1 tip per email for 2 weeks. Then this next extra cherry on top is you bundle it in the same paragraph along with my 2020 investment guide, my pricing, whatever it is. We need to stop resisting that so many of our customers, when they inquire, they ask for a price. And raise your hand if you get a little frustrated with that. I get it. It can be frustrating to have to justify your worth over and over and over again. But the fact is, when people don't understand the intricacies of what it is they're investing and the amazing value you provide and the amazing products that you can create, they don't understand that. So they just base it on price. And they're asking you a lot more. They're asking like, can I trust you? How does this person do business? What are they going to be responsive? That's what they're really saying when they say what your price is. So it's an opportunity for you to show them that you're trustworthy and that you communicate well and you're a cool person, right? Okay. So the point is, just by adding this thing, we've seen these forms go from about a 5% conversion to about a 10 or more % conversion because you're earning permission to send more than just one email. So if some of you only email a PDF and they ghost on you and you don't have any other automations that go out after that, you haven't really earned permission to send tips either if you're just sending pricing. But when you combine both of them, the form converts better and they open all of your emails more, okay? So I hope I'm explaining, I get really excited. So, okay, let's zoom out for a second. You impact your sales average more in the first 5 minutes, not in the sales session. So for many years, I thought that I could, the illusion was that I could just sell here. I was so excited to book the session, to go on location, to have a blast and have fun with them. And like, oh, don't worry, we'll look at your pictures and we'll decide I can do some cool metal prints or an album or et cetera. And I introduced the idea of the products here. And they'd be like, no, I just want the digitals. No, thanks. And I would get so frustrated. And the reality is there's no magic you can do here that's going to work if you're not doing the work earlier, introducing the products you want to sell. So right away, the price you need to set that expectation early. And then during the consult, you're reinforcing it. And on the session, you're talking about, oh, this is going to look great above your mantle or above the fireplace. And in the order session, you do some cool things that gradually help it. But it's right here. This is right away. How you respond to a pricing inquiry really sets the stage for happier clients and more sales. The analogy I love is when you guys want to go out to dinner, if you're going to go to Ruth's Chris or Outback, walking in the door, you're going to spend more money at Ruth Chris because it's just on the website. It's on the menu, right? You know what you're walking into. You're getting more than just the food. You're getting an experience, et cetera, right? I want you guys to have that experience where people are not second guessing your pricing so much. Instead, they just understand that this is what your price is. So here's the results, what you guys said. When do you first show your complete pricing information? So the problem with it all on your website is they don't understand without you there to talk them through it. They're not going to understand why you're so valuable, why your art is so powerful, the experience you offer, and the art and the products you can create for them. When we email a pricing guide, it's oftentimes way too much information for them to understand without you there explaining it to them. This is where a lot of people ghost. Let me know if you're frustrated with people ghosting you after seeing your pricing. And this is getting better where some of you are only sharing specifics once you get them on the phone or in the sales session. But there's one important opportunity that I want to help fix for you is sometimes if this is taking 24 to 48 hours, that you can be losing customers. And even if you aren't, you're stressed about losing customers, right? So you need to have an automatic reply that is a win-win for everybody. That's what this is. So number one, stop emailing your PDF pricing, okay? It's too much information too soon. They're not going to understand the details, the materials. Loads too slow on their phone. It's not mobile friendly. It's outdated. They'll dig out all of these old school, your old pricing from 2 years ago. And people don't attach value to sizes the way we all do. We know a 16 by 24 is something in our mind. It means something to us. It means nothing to our clients. So you shouldn't communicate that in an email when they've only known you for a few minutes. Instead, I want to walk you through what I call the pricing funnel. So let's, like a baking show, the cookies are done. Let's walk through what this could look like when it's totally done, okay? We're going to put ourselves in the shoes of a potential customer who's shopping for a photographer. They're going, okay, how much, where am I going? I'm Googling photographers in my city. I go to Facebook, I ask my friends. She lands on a website. She scrolls through and likes what she sees so far and goes, oh, there's a pop-up. Okay, grab our free guide, 7 things every boudoir photographer wants you to know. Okay, I'm gonna enter my email. Now there's an important thing that just happened. I'm gonna back up. The second she entered in her email, something happened. And whatever tool, whatever form you use should have what's called a thank you page URL. So instead of when they hit send me the tips, there's an opportunity you're losing if you're saying, okay, thanks, go check your inbox in a couple minutes and it'll be there. People want stuff right now and you have their attention, so use it. Give them what they want. By giving them what you said you're gonna give them immediately, it builds credibility and trust. So you set the thank you page to the form submit form, and all form builders should be able to do this. Sticky email does as well. It immediately redirects to a page, to a website, whether it's another page on your Show It website or a sticky folio or some kind of online pricing guide. You want it web-based, not a PDF, so that it looks great on mobile, the images are nice and clean, and you want to introduce mock-ups of your client's images in the products you want to sell. And just simply say here, prices start at. You don't have to give details. That's too much too soon. The goal of this page is to get them on the phone with you, right? So you're giving them what they want. They just want an introduction to you. And then you can redirect them to jumping on a phone call with you. Another tool I'll show at the end, you can use a tool like Loom. This is the Sticky Folio online pricing guide, where you can have this float on the page while you introduce yourself with a pre-recorded video, saying a little bit about your why, what's important to you, your style. And here are some of my clients' favorite products. Okay. In a lot of ways, it's like having an assistant. So imagine what it would be like if you had a full-time studio manager answering the phone for you, and they introduced all of this stuff to your every inquiry, right? So here's what the photographer does, here's what they like to do, and these are some of the favorite products our clients love, and here's now an opportunity to get on the phone call. We'd love you to chat with the photographer, right? Except this is all automated. You can record yourself all in a video message introducing your pricing to them. So everybody who shows up for a consult already understands a little bit more about you and is at least has an intro into an idea of what it is you offer. Super, super powerful. So this middle step page, the main goal of it is just to have them schedule a phone call with you. So you can link out to something like Calendly. There's dozens of online scheduling tools. Doesn't matter what it is. You're not scheduling the shoot yet. Remember, it's tiny little stepping stones. The next stepping stone is just a 15-minute free phone consultation. And remember, we're following her story. This is only like a couple minutes in. She's not ready to jump all the way. But guess what? We already have her email address right now, okay? That's the powerful part of combining the two things. Now you get to nurture and give value and be generous and teach and talk to them about things you know they care about. And then over a couple days, or maybe a couple weeks, that's when trust is built. You can link back out to your pricing guide, or you can link again to the schedule call, and then they book a phone call or an in-person session. And for those of you that have PDF pricing guides, I'm not saying they're worthless. I'm saying print them. Don't ever email them again. It's too much for them to consume on their own. They're meant to be printed. Print them in a nice portfolio or a magazine that you can walk through with them over the phone or in person. So that is the kind of the baked cookie. Let me know if you can imagine how an automation like that, whenever somebody came to your website and inquired about pricing, do you think that would increase your sales and increase your bookings? Let me know what you think in the comments. This has been really fun. Okay. So I went really fast there. I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. Also included in the sticky email free trial is a step-by-step training that you can build this. So when you get into your sticky email account, I've got a training. You go to Academy here and then find the baby step pricing blueprint course, and you just walk through it one little 5-minute video at a time, and you can add this to your business using a variety of tools. Parts of it you can use sticky, parts you can use show it. Again, I want you guys, I believe in this best practice. I really don't care what software you use because I know that the best practice works. Okay. So every good business owner will say a good sales process will beat a great salesperson with a bad process every single time. So I don't know a single photographer that loves being a salesperson, right? We work creatives. We want to be generous and creative. We want people to respect at the same time what it is we do is valuable. So having a process that automates it. So when you go into Starbucks, nobody's complaining to Starbucks, to the barista, that the prices are too high, right? That's just what the prices are. And so when you automate this process of communicating your value and what it is you do, you'll notice that more and more people will respect that. So Kim says, are you showing no pricing on your website? Yes. So that's the last step of that funnel is you say, hey, our prices start at whatever you're comfortable saying there to filter out people that just aren't a fit. But to grab our pricing guide or to take a look at our online pricing introduction or teaser or guide, whatever you want to call it, investment guide, enter your email address below. So that's going to make sure that you're turning way more traffic into leads also because people want to see your pricing. One quick case study, Stuart Beebe said, first, I spent ages not even having a price list. I just put prices in an email, tried Excel, which looked awful. Now that my pricing response looks professional with samples of products I offer, as a result, I've been selling more at the sales session. It's pretty straightforward. When you do a better job of being an educator, of teaching what it is you do and what it is you offer, that is so powerful. And that's going to increase your sales and it's going to make it easier for people to say yes to you. Awesome. Nadia says, this is genuinely helpful. Thank you. Oh, that means so much for me to hear. Thanks for all the positivity, guys. I love it. So as a reminder, I'm going to post it in the chat here, stickyemail.com. I'm bad at talking and typing. That if you go there, there should be a banner on the bottom. If you click that, that'll bring you to the free trial sign up to give you your 3-month free trial, which then also gives you access to this training, the baby step pricing inquiry form. So as we were saying earlier, guys, it's helpful to start thinking of your website as the beginning of a conversation, not the end. There's a lot more. A lot of the people that are on your website, they don't know, like, or trust you yet. And so you can use tools like this, like email and other pages on your site or other landing pages to create a funnel so they can gradually get to know you over time. Jola, absolutely. I don't know what's happening. For some reason, that link isn't working for some people. I'm going to do, I know this one does. We'll do sticky marketing tools.com. That one will. There's the same banner at the bottom of that one. Okay, is there a way to, so Jennifer said, may have missed it. Is there was there a way to add in current emails collected into the sequence? So they're automatically added with our email capture forms. All right. So getting strangers to take the first step is the hardest, guys. So it's really easy for us to think about somebody on our website, just inquire, just enter our contact form. But this is actually a really big leap of faith. And so having this combo offer when you're giving and being generous to your audience is going to have a huge impact on turning more traffic into leads. Okay, so to review, I don't want anybody to get overwhelmed. Nelly, I'm going to share the link in 2 seconds. So number 1, this is your priority list for your hunker down, be productive time. Number 1, make your first sequence. Write your sequence if you want to write it from scratch. Use the sticky email template. Make the form live on your site, okay? It's so much better to ship things, to get them done, to get that checkbox off of your plate. You can always go back and make all of this better. But while it's live, it's giving you value, okay? And if you get sick or you get stuck or you get busy or great, it's still working for you and you can always come back to it. Then inject this pricing inquiry funnel project on top of it, where it's only going to get better, where you add the pricing request into the funnel and follow the training that I put together. Then you're going to increase your sales. You're going to increase your conversion from traffic into lead, but just bite-size it one step at a time, okay? So that means is you can just leave this off. Launch like that, and then once you've got it launched, then build your pricing guide, figure out how you're going to build that funnel, and then add it back in and take the rest of the pricing off your site, okay? So keep asking questions as they come in. Let me jump in and grab the mock-up that I promised everybody. Copy the link. So this is just a Dropbox download of the Photoshop template that you can use to make mock-ups for your products. So Joey says, I'm going to bring Chris back on. Let's see. Brett, rewatch this. Yes, you can. Joey said, this is so incredibly helpful. Thank you for your generosity. You bet. I'm happy to do it. You guys deserve it. How do we do this with wedding packages? Good question. My recommendation is there's a, you have to decide where you want to write your pricing. Is it a dedicated page you keep hidden on Show It, or on a landing page tool builder or something like that? And you just keep it very simple. I don't think people need to know every little detail of your package. You're just teasing them with enough. And tease is not the right word. You're just introducing just enough so that they're curious to want to learn more and jump on a call with you. Lee, if I hope that answers your question, you can add more if I missed it.
Hey, Nate.
Yes.
A lot of people have been asking about what to do if they are serving different niches in photography.
Yeah.
So how would they set up their email sequences in that case?
Yep. So the only thing, you just start, if you wanted to use the free trial of Sticky Email, please do. We unfortunately do not have industry specific sequences like we do for the niches of photography, but you can start from scratch. And my advice for you guys would be to start if you have existing content you've already written on a blog post or an ebook or something like that, just chop it up into 5 to 10 emails spread out over 2 weeks and use that as a starting point. Don't let the writing of the emails get in your way of getting it live.
Got it.
Awesome. Let's see. So any other questions? Can I send regular newsletter? Yes, you can. Dev, we're launching in the next couple weeks. We'll be launching a broadcast feature also. But you want to be really careful with broadcasts and newsletters that you're not selling too hard. You want to give first so they know, like, and trust you, and then you can gradually invite them for other specials and email them later. So yes, you can do that too. Can you have certain examples of the pricing guide? Let me show you what I use in Sticky. And I'm the first to say that, again, this comes down to using the tools you have. Oh, I got to share my screen real quick. If you have Show It, something like this could be built with Show It, where you just have a simple gallery. You have some products here. I like having a gallery of your mock-ups. This is black and white, just to give you guys an example, where people are going, oh, I was just here for the digitals, but this looks cool. Like I do want a nice family portrait over the fireplace, right? You're just kind of planting that hint. The same way when you walk into the Apple store to get some AirPods, you walk by all of the other awesome stuff. You're like, I need this too, right? You want to gently show them other things you do. One of the best things you can have on your pricing guide is a video of your client's review, looking at their pictures. Record with your phone the next time your clients see their pictures for the first time or get their print album for the first time. You want to show what it is you sell, that experience and the joy of getting your products and services for the first time. And then you can chunk out. I recommend keeping this super simple. Don't put all of the details all on one page. The goal is to get them to click this link at the end. You want to get them to schedule the consult or jump on a phone call with you. So that's the example of that. Let's see how Laura's got a question. Oh, let me go back here. How do homepage pop-up email signups works when you have different photography specialties? Great question. So Laura, you choose your sequence first, and then all of the forms you build are all automatically connected to that sequence. That was one of the big hurdles that a lot of people struggled with when we first do emails. They go, I see a form like that. I want to go build a form. But then there's this like catch-22. You're like, well, crap, where do I send those leads and what do I send them and how many? So the place to start is actually deciding what it is you're going to send. So once you've decided, I'm going to send them a sequence, not a PDF, not something else. I'm going to send them a sequence of emails. You get that done, you get it polished, whether you write it yourself or you start with a template. Then within Sticky Email, all of the form types that you grab that code and you grab it to somebody asked earlier, you can add that code across all of your websites. It doesn't cost more or change anything. You can put it on landing pages. You can put it on on some of your Show It pages, on all of your Show It pages, whatever you want to do. And all of the leads that opt into that one form automatically go into that specific sequence. So some photographers who shoot multiple genres will eventually add a second sequence. So that on their wedding site, they'll have a wedding sequence. On their family site, they'll have a family sequence. All of that is available there. Okay, Pamela. At what point in the email sequence do you first answer the pricing? Oh, good. That depends. If you've promised it on your phone, you've got to deliver it right away. If you didn't promise it, I would recommend having it in your footer as a link that's always there, so that at any time they think of you and they search their inbox, they can find a link to your pricing at any given time. I also say, like, you want to earn the right to ask for the business. So you start, all of our email templates are designed so that they start with all value, like tip, 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 give, give, give. And then you eventually say, hey, I hope these tips were helpful. If you wanted to, here's a link to my schedule. I'd love to jump on a phone call. Or if you'd like to look at the pricing, here's that pricing information again. And you earn that privilege to kind of ask for more as you go. And some people, towards the end, you can get more direct. You say, hey, I'd love to jump on a phone call. Let me know if you're interested in booking a session. Once you've earned that permission over time, you're going to have a lot more success instead of asking for it right away. All right.
Hey, Nate,
yes.
I think some people are still having a little bit of a hard time signing up, but Jacqueline mentioned when you enter your email address, instead of pressing enter, you press tab, and then it will actually work rather than give you an error message.
That's a bummer. That's strange. I will have my Shannon and support take a look at that. I wonder what browser they're using that's doing that. That's weird. So I'm going to just do a quick test myself to make sure everybody knows if I can share my screen. Oh dear, that's not what I want to share. Let's see. I want to do my primary display. Okay, and I'll bring this over here. So we go to stickymarketingtools.com. We click this little button here, which brings you to the free trial. So you guys click free trial and then sign up on the bottom. Oh, that is weird. That's just happened today. We'll have to get that fixed. For some reason, that button is not there. So you guys said it, so test. Oh, I can't do a test account, but yeah, okay. You should be able to hit enter and it should work. Otherwise, if you guys say it's working with tab, I will be emailing every single person who registered today a link to the direct place to sign up for this. Press space, it appeared. Okay, that's goofy. I think we had hundreds of people sign up today, so I don't know why that's happening. I'll get that resolved. Thanks for the heads up. I appreciate it, guys. If you have any other questions about email, let me go back to the normal view. Let's see, using Chrome. Okay, cool. Works now. Once you put the email, wait a couple seconds and the field to create a password comes up. Okay, thanks, Guan. Appreciate that. Brett said it worked for you. Cool. Yay, internet. Okay, this has been such an honor, guys. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do to support. You can just email us at support@Sticky Email with any questions. I'll be sending out the replay shortly. Jennifer said, yeah, same worked for me too after entering email. Okay, good to know. There we go. Here's another question. Can this email sequence be triggered from a button on my Show It website that I designed within Show It? Right now, unfortunately not. So you can create a quick little page that pops up, but you can't do a modal with a Show It button yet. We're working on that. I think that'd be a cool feature. We have to dig in a little bit to some of how Show It works.
Nate, do you guys have an embed code with the form?
We do.
Would they be able to? Okay, so there is a way to do it. You
sweet.
just you paste the embed form into a canvas and then use click actions to have it pop up and fill out the full height and width of the screen. So I'm gonna
look.
look.
Made my whole day. That's fantastic. We got an expert right on the call. Shannon heard that too. I think we've got a demo account of Show It we can use. We'll make a quick video. And Shannon might be reaching out to you, Chris, for some expert help on how to make that happen. That's fantastic. That's so cool. We can't, I think that being able to make that call to action a button where you can make it, hey, get our pricing, want our pricing, and that pop-up then opens a modal, that will be tremendous, along with a slide out form and an exit intent form.
I just pasted a link into the chat on how to pop up a hidden canvas. So there's that.
Rock. Okay, cool. We're going to put that in our help docs, and Shannon will make one. We'll test it out with sticky email as well. Sharon says, thank you from Lockdown UK. I now have a new positive focus again. Oh, that is exactly why we're here. Thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you were here and glad it was worth your time. Amanda says, link worked for me perfectly. Excited to try this out. Awesome. Nelly, again, thanks so much for this. You're super, super welcome. All right. I'll let you guys get back to your day. Keep being productive. I've had a blast teaching. Stay tuned. Bookmark this page before you leave. Hit the subscribe button to be notified when we do more fun educational videos like this. And we will see you guys soon. Hang in there.
Bye, everybody.
Chris. Have a good one. Cheers.